Okay, so I've just left that Stentwood farm in Devon, and absolutely fascinating place. Very much enjoyed myself. Give you the quick history. Bumped into a couple of chaps in Stockport town centre in December. I got chatting with them. They invited me down to stay at a farm, which is like a community. I told them that I would. Phoned them last week, asked them if they could come down. They said yes. Today was the day. Arrived late afternoon before it was dark. Welcomed by a young chap, 23. Got his story. The chap that I spoke to on the phone, I met his 17-year-old son. That's how I was welcomed. Sat down in a beautifully constructed cafe with very calming music, and it seemed like it was a very warm, nice place with an open log fire. Anyway, made me a drink, made me a sandwich, spoke about their way of life, how they go about things, what their understanding of why we're here, which is absolutely fascinating. Then later on, was like a small gathering in a large hall, and then everyone ate together. And well, what an experience, I have to say. It was interesting. First and foremost, I'm interested in to see how society can exist in this Western world without the need for money. That was one of my reasons to go down and visit these people, to see how they get along. Are they self-sufficient? And unfortunately, they're not unfortunately, but they're not self-sufficient. It doesn't make it unfortunate. They still have to use money, and they have a business, and they sell bread, and of course they have to function. They have a garden, but it's not, the idea of self-sufficiency without the use of money is not the thing here. The thing is a community living together, working together, creating together, developing together, enjoying each other, and it's a very love-based society. Everyone loves each other, sisters, brothers. So I guess I can describe it. 30 people. I only went in what you would consider to be the main house, which was the cafe that's open to public downstairs, then an upstairs which is like a dining room, meeting room. Beyond that there's a kitchen. The grounds were quite big. I didn't really have a look around, but the main area was nice. So yeah, 30 people, I would say. 7-8 single lads, don't know how many single girls, maybe 6 couples, ranging from the ages of 30 something to 50 something. I think the eldest bloke I met was in his mid 50s. And then maybe 10 kids, 10 adolescents up to the age of 20 something, and then 10 elders, like 30 something, early 30s. And they've said they've catered for double that. I don't know about double that, but they've catered to more people. Self-educated, don't send any children to school, they educate themselves. And I met one teacher, I had a very long conversation with him about how he sees bringing up children into the world that they're in. And he was a music teacher, and they played some music together upstairs, and there was a lot of dancing, a little bit of like singing and playing music communally, and then sat down to had a little meeting, then sat down to eat. So obviously the children were involved in playing instruments, and they seemed like they were having a good time. I was having a good time. So yes, that was fine. I kind of did a bit of understanding on the commerce part of things, which is, yes, they have to pay the bills, yes, they pay tax, they bake a speciality bread that doesn't use wheat, and they sell it for £2.90 a pot, which I think is expensive, but it's a niche market, and they say it works. But I don't think any of them, they don't carry wallets. There's no way they carry wallets. They don't have real, there's no sense of money. Everything is a sense of giving and loving each other for the sake of loving each other. Very communal, work together, and the basis, if I understand it rightly, Jesus Christ, a big believer in JC, and they believe to try and live your life like Jesus Christ. I mean, that's not a bad goal, I guess. If you know who that guy is, he seemed pretty cool. Loving, giving society, and quote scriptures from Bible. A lot of guidance from the Bible itself, and a couple of conversations about the children that are growing up now. I don't know the eldest, but I met a 17-year-old that was born in the commune, and obviously there was a few babies about the place. So I asked, do you think their children will grow up and stay within that community, or do you think they'd move out into what we would call society? And I think their hopes are the children will stay. And one of the things that I believe the children said was something like, we wish for the adults to want us to stay when we're old enough. Like, it would be our privilege to stay. But she was very young, but it was very sweet. So I think the long-term goal for this community is to grow and keep going and get bigger and bigger. And they believe that the way forward is for humanity is a love-based community, and we can only really achieve that by education. They want to be able to educate their own children, and then their children educate their children, who will educate their children. Didn't seem to be any desire for control or power, it seemed like the whole idea of it was to bring up nice people in this world, and they want their children to be pleasant, and they were very pleasant, and they were polite, and they weren't unruly, and they were I would say they were quite good at communication. We spoke to a 9-year-old, really. I don't really know much about 9-year-olds now anyway. Either way, the children seemed simply normal, and they seemed like they were well behaved and well mannered, which that's not to say that I don't meet children every day that are well mannered, but they were well mannered. I'm not going to lie about that, it's a fact. And the people seemed pretty normal. I think the one thing that I would say that would maybe they have them in common, it seemed like their life was a little bit broken before they arrived, searching for something, knew there was something that was missing in their life, or they did bad things that they weren't proud of, and they wanted some sort of help, guidance, forgiveness. Asked for that in the form of, we call it prayer, but it's really only truly thought, isn't it? Obviously thought about it enough, and their prayers in their eyes have been answered, and everyone I spoke to loved it there, absolutely loved it. And I can read people, I know when people are lying, these people are lying, they love what they do, there's no doubt. They like to be in that community. I saw no sign of what they're doing here. They've got a lot of, you can tell they want to be there for each other. So the question is that a good place to be for humanity? Is that where we want to be with our would you like to live in a community of 30 people? Do you want to share pretty much your whole existence with another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 families? I don't know, up to 60 people, and all share meals together every night? Or do you prefer the little family unit, stay in your own bubble, TV, PlayStation, internet, kids in the bedroom, just